It's the Madame, the Exotical tax collector, and I have yet again hit another psychological jackpot. So I want to talk about the unambiguous black femcel women who are now changing their race from black to either white or Asian in order to get more likes. One thing I want to say is I have never been this male-centered. I have never been this male-centered in my life. Ever. That's why it's kind of confusing to me, because I've always put myself first. I've always nurtured and nourished myself first. I've always nurtured and nourished my talents and my abilities and my desires, my hobbies, everything. Some of you women don't care enough about yourself or give a fuck enough about yourself to realize this is not where you are celebrated. And if you are not celebrated in that specific space, why are you going on the app, changing your race on a app just so you can feel validated by male attention? And I feel like a lot of these unambiguous black femcel women, they are not even going on those dates. They are literally getting left on red in the inbox, because guess what, sweetheart? It's the way you talk. It's the way you act. It's your mannerisms and your dialogue that you're speaking to these men, and these men are picking up on that. They can tell if you are a black woman. Okay, ma'am? They can tell. And I feel like this is just so ingenuine and unauthentic. Trying to find love, trying to grasp at any form of love just to feel something good about yourself is fucking insane, okay? It's giving mental illness at the highest level. And this I have some content that's about to start rolling soon, and we're gonna see how these femcel, unambiguous black, dark-skinned women went out of their fucking way to change their race, and just to see, and compare, I didn't get as many likes and messages and hearts and gifts off of this dating website from these men when I only identified as black. But since I identify as white and I hid my race, I'm getting all types of men now. Yeah, sweetheart, but when they see you in real life and they realize who the fuck you are, you can't change who the fuck you are. One thing I want to say is, some people cannot fake who they are. Do you get what I'm saying? They cannot put on a front in front of these white people. How long you gonna put on these front for these white zaddies with the bubblegum pink peen and shit like that? How many fronts are you gonna put up on for these people? They can see through that shit. Nobody wants to be with you toxic ass bitches. And you bitches are getting mad because all of your social strategies, all of your social climbing strategies, they do not work. And Exoticals United was right when she said that the pretty girl always gets treated like a celebrity. At this fucking point, I'm a god. Because I feel like as a pretty girl, I get treated like a goddess out here, okay? I get worshipped and shit. Even the hate is low-level worship, at this fucking point. Because it's super sick that they don't feel comfortable enough in their race to put it on a dating site where honesty and transparency is key in order to connect with another human being. If you're going to lie about your race on a dating app, what else are you going to lie about, sis? Seriously. Imagine getting caught up in all of your lies right in front of this person's family that has decided to date you or has decided to meet up with you in real life off of the app. And then we get women crying online talking about, he said I was a catfish and blah, blah, blah. Bitch, you know damn well what you were doing. If you were a catfishing, you knew damn well what you were doing. You knew your intentions. So one thing I want to say is these unambiguous black women will forever try to catfish darker skinned exoticals or catfish any other race of women that they pedestalize. They're more willing to cosplay as us by putting on these wigs and trying to use our mannerisms and trying to steal our personalities and our destiny, like trying to do the destiny swap. And this is one thing that I wanted to mention of real life destiny swapping before our eyes. I want you guys to see how these unambiguous black dark skinned women try to destiny swap with white women, Asian women now. Really? You're literally saying that you're Asian and trying to hide it on Hinge. Not thinking that this man, whoever he is, and he's seeing you, looking at you, do you really think he's going to value you for lying about your race? Even though it's hidden? Like, still, those guys don't want none of you. And you guys still get mad at the end of the day when you still don't have somebody. And it's the funny fact that none of these bitches who actually did this, they don't got boyfriends. None of them. Just hoping and wishing and praying, hoping and wishing and praying, hoping and wishing and praying. Delulu, not the salulu. Like, literally, delusionalness is not the solution right here. But let's go ahead and roll the clip and see how these poorly thought out social climbing strategies literally blow up in people's faces. And I'm also going to be putting up the consequences of doing this shit in real life. A lot of unambiguous black dark skinned women don't realize when you're sitting up there catfishing on a fucking dating app, it doesn't matter if it's your race or if you use a lighter skinned, person's photo or you're using someone else's photo. Like, what the fuck is your problem? Like, honestly. Genuinely, you don't love yourself enough to just come as you are, because that's what real love is, baby, okay? You don't have to front for no fucking body. You don't have to lie on no fucking dating app just to get some male attention. Some male attention, guys. I have never been male-centered in my life, guys. I have seen my brown exotical mother get worshipped and bowed down by all types of shades of men. From white men to Arabic men to Asian men to Native American men. Like, all types of men. Like, even black men have, even bought my mom's groceries. Paid for her ticket, paid for her stuff at the meter, at the parking meter. My mom has always been bowed down to by men. I do not conform to men. I do not submit to men. The fuck? Over here, we don't submit to men. Men submit to us. Because we're goddesses over here. I don't know about you bitches, but I know about me. Okay? I don't accept trashy ass fucking behavior from men. Okay? And I think that's why a lot of you unambiguous black women are mad at a lot of exotical women, because we are not as thirsty, because we have these men so thirsty over us. We just trying to live our best lives peacefully, bitch. And I feel like saying that a dating app isn't for you. Okay, a dating app isn't for you. Move on. It's easier to connect with somebody in real life when you go to where you're loved and you're supported and you're welcomed and you're wanted. It just shows even more how unambiguous black women play into the narrative of being unwanted so bad, to the point where they're lying about who they truly are on online dating apps. Like, that's gotta be some fucking insane shit. But anyway, to me it is. It's crazy. It's insane. Because it could not be me personally. It could have never been me. Because personally, I have certain standards that a motherfucker is going to have to do this, and that, and the third in order to cross the threshold of the gate that's between me and the world, okay? You don't respect me, you don't love me, you don't have self-love for yourself and self-respect for yourself, you can't come over here. You're not trying to grow my garden while I try to grow your garden, baby. You can't come over here. That's just how I feel. If someone's not wanting you off the bat, like, you shouldn't be trying that hard. It's the simple fact that exotical women don't have to try hard. And we have unambiguous black women going through circles, hoops, obstacles, trials, and tribulations that they're putting themselves through, by the way. Nobody else has put them through this shit other than themselves. And then they complain about how we are pedestalized, because guess what? We actually give a fuck about ourselves. We actually love ourselves. We got some standards over here. Because you guys have been saying, oh, acknowledge your privilege. Acknowledge your privilege. Okay, babe. Okay, babes. Now I acknowledge my privilege. Full throttle. Now what's up? Still complaining. And I feel like this is like some colorism crybaby shit as well. Because it's like, you're literally changing your whole race on a dating app just so you can pacify your insecurities about being a black woman. Like, you are some insecure ass black fucking women. And I said what the fuck I said. And none of you bitches are gonna fucking check me ever in my motherfucking life. So go talk to your fucking mothers. Go talk to your fathers. Go talk to your family and your therapist, because I am not the fucking one. But anyway, let's roll the clip on these fucking mentally insane bitches. This is some mentally insane shit. Because, guys, don't worry. We're going to be getting into the consequences of this shit after I roll the clip on all of this. Because people do not fucking realize the consequences of their actions when they're sitting up here lying and fabricating shit on a dating app. And then you wonder why the dating apps are trash. You bitches are lying. And then you get mad at the man for catching you in the lie. So, hey, it is what it is. I love you guys. Let's roll the clip. And one more thing before I start rolling the clip on this video. Thank you to my new and returning subscribers. I love you guys. Hey, say hey down in the chat below. Okay, I'm going to do the video. We're going to roll the clip.
Good morning. It is officially 12 hours since I have been a white woman on Hinge with a very black profile. So let's see what I've seen. Now, 2 people liked me yesterday on Hinge. And I think one of them, I'm pretty sure I've seen on my old profile. So he had to have selected that he liked black and white women. So again, for some clarification, I have done a profile of me like I did with my other profile. This is a brand new, fresh profile I created yesterday with my Google Voice phone number. And it is pictures of me, very black. But I, under the ethnicity, selected only white. And again, I am not looking to actively date. I am deep in my decentering men era right now. But I am also a very curious, nosy bitch. And I like to do experiments, especially ones in terms of like social. Like an actual social experiment, except y'all to do them corny ass skits. And then when people don't really like it, you say it's a social experiment. But anyway. So let's look at some of the profiles that were in the standouts. The standouts is the page where they are held behind a paywall where you give them a rose and whatnot. So they do give you one free rose, I think once a week or something. I haven't given a rose yet, but someone in the comments did say that I should, to see what type of people they're going to push to my algorithm. So stay tuned for that. Anyway, let's look at the people. So what I'm looking at is professions. Professions of black men that I never saw when I selected black woman as my ethnicity. Only black women as my ethnicity. So yesterday I did it at 100 miles, but I think to truly make it accurate, I kept it to 20 miles because that's what I had on my original profile when I was actually trying to date. I'm in Arlington, Texas, 20 miles from there, okay? Let's go. You have a man that worked in the hospital. He's Nigerian. I'm covering his Instagram name because I'm not going to show these people's faces, okay? A business director of sales. That's a pretty high-paying job. An options trader. Now, I don't know. Are we talking an actual trader or are we talking Forex? I don't know. Quality control at manufacturing. Never seen that job before on Hinge. LSCM analyst, again, never seen it in my life. Never seen that job selection in my life when I was actually dating as a Black woman. MGM corporate. Never seen this in my Senior manager of product strategy. Never seen that job before. Business director of sales. Again, never seen that before. Senior software engineer. Might have seen an engineer before, but again, these are higher paying jobs. And again, my profile says that I'm a white woman, even though my pictures are Black, but just in terms of algorithm, this is what is behind that paywall for me. Another thing to point out here is that, or somebody pointed out in my comments, was that you also start to see a lot more men that are about like long-term relationships, lifetime partner, monogamy, and things like that, as opposed to when I had my other profile. This was one of the men that liked me. That said, figuring out my dating goals, figuring out my relationship type, 39 years old. Clearly, I didn't match with him. So yeah, this has been very interesting. Again, this is my pictures, filled out profile. The only thing that I changed was my ethnicity in the settings. So I think I'm gonna leave it until tonight, so it's a full 24 hours. And then after, I'm gonna change my ethnicity to Black and keep it in the same, the only thing I'm going to change is Black, and then the distance and everything is going to stay exactly the same so that we can see the difference. And yes, I know people are in my comments like, well, aren't they the ones that are filtering out Black women? Yes, which is also part of the conversation. That's like, wow, the men, the good men with the good paying jobs don't want Black women. A good chunk of them. I also think it has something to do with the algorithm as well. In terms of like who they're showing me outright. Because when I had my other profile and I started off Black, they weren't showing me this high of caliber of men. So yes, I understand that these are men that don't want to date me. I know. I'm not dating them either. Like, this is literally just for testing. It's just so interesting. But yeah, I'm going to keep liking the ones as a white woman to see what they push out to me. And yeah, stay tuned. To my Black women, you are not crazy. What you feel about the apps is very true, especially as a dark-skinned Black woman. What you feel is very true. This app is not created for us. And I'm finding it more and more as I continue this experiment. This app, Hinge, is not for Black women. I literally have 2 profiles on Hinge. With the exact same profile, just one has the ethnicity white and one has the ethnicity Black. And the white one has twice as many hits as the Black one. And it's not just the fact that some people prefer white women, right? It is the fact that this algorithm is pushing white women more than it is Black women. Or brown, but I'm specifically talking about Black. I have had so many Black women comment on my videos when I started this and said, I changed my ethnicity to white on my profile. And the sheer difference is astounding. A lot of these men will put their best foot forward when dating a white woman, but won't put their best foot forward when dating a Black one. Literally a lot more men putting in the effort when dating a white woman than for us. We are not crazy. We are not crazy. This shit is systemic. Be it the algorithm or be it the men. There are men that want to date Black women. Even a man in my comments, a Black man in my comments who said, when he has his profile open and he wants to date black women. He's open to everybody. But he says he has to unlike so many. He has to X out so many non-black women just to get to black women. It's systemic. We are not crazy. We are not crazy. This is systemic. This app was not built for us. I need to know when that class action lawsuit passes. Cause bitch, sign me up and give me my motherfucking check. You have businesses creating fake profiles to bring them to your business. I remember hearing that, where, I don't know if it was a black woman though, but it was like, I matched with this guy on whatever app it was. And they're like, hey, let's meet at this restaurant. So I come to the restaurant, but he's not there. So I sat and ate because, again, I'm already there, so I might as well eat. Turns out the restaurants are now starting to create fake profiles. They're now starting to create fake profiles to get women to come and eat at their fucking restaurants. Again, I don't know if specifically that one is white or black. I don't know. But these apps are all about making money. They are going to put the good men behind a paywall because they want you to pay for roses. I'm not paying for no fucking roses. If I wanted to pay in terms of dating, I will go out and get a dating coach. But they're also expensive. The dating industry really, like, the more I'm sitting here thinking about it, the more irritated I'm getting. But again, to my black women, you are not crazy. On the white profile, you have men with completely filled out profiles. Completely filled out profiles. Talking about looking for their lifelong partner and this, that, the third, and monogamous and Then I go to the black one and I get just ask. I get one-worded answers on my black profile. My white ones, paragraphs. Paragraphs. On my black profile, they told me that this man would be compatible with me. This man has a mouse tool in his hand. A mouse tool in his hand. What about that is compatible with me? I have men telling me to smile. Like I don't have other pictures of me smiling. I never get shit like this on the white one. A grown-ass man with kids. Which, mind you, I put I don't want kids on my fucking profile. I put I don't want kids on my fucking profile. They keep showing me men who want kids. Where is the compatibility? I need to know what exactly, when they say someone might be compatible with you, what exactly do they mean? Now, this person just likes my profile. That doesn't mean that the app is saying, oh, you guys might be compatible, but I need to know what exactly the compatibility is. And it's like, I have experiences like this, and then people are like, oh, you never know. Like, why are you single? You're gonna die alone and things like that. And I'm just like, first of all, people in relationships, I need y'all to stay out of single folks' business. Those of y'all who have been in a relationship for years, since at least like 2020, I don't want to hear y'all say no shit about no advice, okay? You found your person. Stay out of single folks' business. This is why the dating market is the way that it is right now. Especially since a lot of y'all married men's be in them fucking profiles. But anyway, black women are not crazy. We are not crazy. We are not imagining things. They are going to try to gaslight you. Oh, well, maybe you need to this, and this, and maybe you need to this, and this. I have people in my comments try to say that it might just be, because they're like attractive women trying to call me ugly. Bitch, it never gave ugly. Like, nice try. And to you women that get the big ballers and stuff, congratulations. Okay. Congrats. Like, attraction might be a thing. And yeah, some people, beauty is in the eye of the beholder. Some people might not be attracted to me. That's fine. Like, honestly, if you're not attracted to me, don't tell me. Leave me the fuck alone. It doesn't upset me, okay? It's the fact that my white profile with the exact same photos are getting twice as many likes, twice as many hits as the one where my ethnicity is black. That is what I'm talking about, right? But yeah, in conclusion, black women and online dating, it's not made for us because nothing in the US is made for us. You know who it's made for. It's not made for us, okay? I'm not going to tell people to give up, but I'm also not going to be dismissive of their feelings, because here I am doing this literal experiment and I'm literally watching one profile get more hits than the one that says I'm black. Here I am, afro, natural hair, braids, everything. These are the same pictures in my white profile, and they're getting twice as many hits as the black one. And it's really the fact that I'm a little frustrated now, but I'm not dating. So I know if I actively was dating right now and trying to find my person, I would be twice as angry and twice as upset. And the thing is, we all want companionship. We all, want someone to come home to. Like, a lot of us women are choosing to be single until we can get that. If we can't get a good man, a supportive man, a loving partner, all these things, we can do bad all by ourselves. So stop telling black women to stop being upset. Stop telling black women to stop bringing race into it. Stop telling black women to stop pointing this shit out. Stop trying to gaslight us and tell us it's all in our heads. It's literally been a week. My white profile probably total has had maybe 10 hits. My black one, maybe 4, 5. Like, this was just a fun thing for me, but it's really sad. And that's like when people are like, I feel some type of way about it. You have every right to be. Because look at the fucking material. Look at the data. I'm not even a data analyst. I'm not a researcher. I'm not writing a paper. I'm not doing any of these things. I'm not writing a thesis or whatever the fuck. If someone was actively looking into this shit, we know this is not for us. So black women, take care of yourselves. All right? Take care of yourselves. We have to decenter men, unfortunately. Well, not unfortunately, but we have to decenter them. Because shit like this will take you under. It'll frustrate you to the point that it will take you under. So take care of yourselves, and I love y'all. Bye.
Like Exoticals United said, the Femcel rage is real, guys. And this is what Femcel rage looks like. She's trying to put on the front of decentering men, but at the same time admitting her jealousy for people who are in long-term relationships and telling them that they need to get out of single people's business. And then she goes on a rant about how, dark-skinned black women should feel a certain type of way, and they should be able to talk about it, and we should just pander to them and kiss their asses pretty much. Well, guess what? It is not my responsibility to help you with your dating life. You have to do that on your own, regardless of what society says, regardless of what society's structure is. You got to do what's best for you. Even if that means leaving the place that you are originally at and going off somewhere to find love. Baby, if you gotta be a passport girl, be a passport girl. But don't sit up here in front like you're decentering men when you're literally trying to say that you changed your race under the guise of a social experiment. Girl, you sat up here and truly thought that changing your race to white and then hiding it on the dating app, that was going to change your experience somehow. Yes, you were being able to see more men of a higher caliber. White men, Asian men, black men and everything. And it's so funny how when, like, the first thing that she did when she was on the app, as a Caucasian, as cosplaying as this Caucasian woman, like in this type of like deceptive way on this dating app, she finds herself being stood up at a restaurant. And then she brings up this article about how restaurants are going on dating apps and they are, catfishing people and playing like, oh, yeah, I'm going to meet you up at this restaurant since you like this type of food. Or, hey, let's meet up at this restaurant. Like, who has the type of energy to do that type of crap? Like, honestly. And then you're saying that you want to get your check and you want to get your money back from a lawsuit, class action or something like that, like a class action lawsuit. Like, do you see how desperate these unambiguous black dark skin femcels really are? They're desperate to get money out of anybody in any type of way. They're willing to say that since a man, stood me up and he didn't decide to, continue our date, now I feel foolish, and now that I've heard this rumor, this allegation against these different restaurants about being behind different, dating profiles of high caliber men, and literally having the ladies come to the restaurant and have them, set up in a way where, oh, he just left. But you decide to stay at that restaurant and eat at that restaurant. So, like, what's wrong with you? You decided to stay there and eat alone after a man just sat up here and stood you up. He probably saw that, oh my God, she doesn't really look like her photo in real life. And maybe he felt embarrassed and he ran out. These unambiguous black, dark-skinned women will sit up here and try to hide behind, this like false persona of decentering men and I can do bad all by myself and all this other shit. They do the tough shit. They want to be seen as the toughest around. But literally, you're sitting up here saying that these men don't like you. These men would never date you. But you sat up here and went on a date with this man that has stood you up. If you're not doing it to date men, right, how you initially started out, and now that you've gone on a date and someone actually saw you in real life from afar or up close, and now he's, left you stranded at the restaurant by yourself, and now you're trying to, monkey branch and empathy bait and sympathy bait and have other people pander to you, baiting, trying to bait people to pander to you because you found this false allegation or this allegedly false allegation of restaurants getting behind a profile on Hinge, guys. I have never heard any type of restaurant owner or any type of corporation, food company or whatever that has actually got behind a dating app, catfishing people, telling people, oh yeah, let's meet up at this time at McDonald's. That sounds dumb as fuck. That sounds so dumb. Like, it's just so retarded how this woman started out saying that this was just for a social experiment and things of that nature. And then she has a bad experience afterwards. And this is what I'm trying to tell you guys. This is bad social climbing skills. You do not social climb when you are doing things like this. This is going to get you nowhere. You guys remember when I talked about pity privilege? Guess what? People can sense pity privilege subconsciously. Do you genuinely think that man wanted to be with you? He could have saw her mannerisms and the way that she was acting from afar and was like, yeah, I'm out. I gotta go. But you guys have to understand, it's about your energy too. Are you happy within yourself? Are you anxious? Are you trying too hard? Or do you just not care at all? Because people will literally say that, oh, the prettier women are bullying me, calling me ugly. Well, if a pretty girl is calling you ugly, why did she call you ugly? It might be because of your spirit. Some people don't realize no matter how much they wash their body, they will always smell because their soul is fucking rotten, okay? And I'm just gonna say it how it is, all right, guys? Because I feel like a lot of people don't want to talk about the truths, the taboo truths that are underlying, that are causing all this tension, these insecurities to get triggered and rise. Like, it's super sickening that these unambiguous black, dark-skinned women truly thought that any good thing was gonna come from this shit. Nothing was good was gonna come from something that started off of deception. Like, if the foundation is made off of deception and these men see your profile and stuff like that, and then you're complaining about the men that you are matching with and things of that nature, well, guess what? Maybe you need to up the age range. Maybe you need to do something different. Or maybe freestyling is more of your thing. It's like these women are so problem-based, they can't even see the solution even if you put it right in front of them. Even if you did a 12-day tutorial one-on-one with them, showing them how to do everything step by step. Literally, they would not care enough to pay attention to what you're doing because they are just so consumed by the lack and the plantation mindset. Like, it genuinely is just so sickening, and it's just like unhealthy at its finest. But anyway, let's roll the clips. I just think that she's a hypocrite. Because at the end of the day, if you have to make 2 videos back to back, one saying that, oh, Hinge is not for dark-skinned black women or black women in general, that is super fucked up. To literally sit up here and say it has everything to do with race. Maybe it's the way that you are presenting yourself and people can tell that you're not happy. People can tell in photos if you are happy or not. No matter how much you try to hide it. People can feel your energy even when they're texting you, even when they're talking to you over the phone. So you cannot get mad when you are not the preference of a specific person or a specific group of people, or a specific caliber of men. A specific caliber of men do not talk to women like this for specific reasons, and it's because they are pick-me's. She is a pick-me disguised as someone who is pro-decentering men. Girl, your Femcel rage is maybe the reason why you're decentering men, because no man literally wants you. Even when you start dating men, they want to cut you off eventually. Because guess what? Women who do not love themselves cannot keep a relationship. Women who do not honor themselves and put themselves on a pedestal and a throne and have a proper mental diet, they cannot keep a man. And I said what the fuck I said. Get however way you want to be about it, feel any way that you want to about it. It is what it is. So let's go ahead and roll the clip on the rest of the videos.
Am I the only one who saw the video of the young black woman who changed her race on Hinge to get different matches?
Change your race to white or Asian, but hide it so when a man sees it.
She said it was experimental and it was just to test out the algorithm. But here's why I think this is a bad idea. Okay, we already know algorithms are very biased. They definitely know our race, our skin color. They know everything about us, period. And they give us certain matches that they feel like coincide with who we are. And I understand wanting to like date a specific type of person or wanting to date someone of a specific demographic, socioeconomic status, specific occupations. But if someone is intentionally filtering out black women from their dating preferences, why would you want to even match up with them? We need to let go of the desire of wanting to be chosen by people who are very loudly not choosing us.
There was a girl a couple months ago who came on this app and told black women to change their race to white so that they could have better dating options. So I decided to test that theory on my Hinge yesterday. On Hinge, you have the option to hide your race. So my race before was black, it was hidden. And most of the options on my timeline were drug dealers, scammers, and just frankly men I have no interest in dating. So I changed my race to white, and suddenly, I'm getting Harvard graduates, real estate investors, financial advisors, football players, black men, and good looking. Like where were y'all? But anyway, this is just me saying, if you want better options, change your race to white on these dating apps because they take us for a fucking joke.
Kodak Black.
My name Kodak Black, but when you see me, I'm white.
Unambiguous black women feel that they have to cosplay as exotical women, white women, Asian women, or other women of color in general in order to social climb, in order to get that social status, in order to become a social status symbol of wealth, so men can worship them and praise them and give them, their beauty tax in general, or their feminine tax in general. And one thing I want to say, it is truly disgusting how these unambiguous black dark-skinned women will sit up here and try to say, oh yeah, we're the queens. Yeah, we have the Eve gene, we have the low gene, we have the whatever gene, and we are the first women of the earth and blah, blah, blah. Guess what? You bitches are a bunch of frauds. And I'm so happy that every single day there's an unambiguous black dark-skinned woman exposing your guys' mental illness, exposing how delusional you guys are in the non-manifesting type of way. And it's just like, it's super sickening to see how all of you guys think that it's truly okay and that there's no consequences to your actions. One thing I want to say is there are heavy consequences to your actions of lying about your ethnicity and catfishing men. There are men that will unalive you because you lied about what the fuck you look like on your profile picture in real life. There are men that are non-black men that are waiting for black women to pull stunts like that on social media because there's serial killers lurking in the shadows behind some of these profiles online. There are a lot of unambiguous black dark-skinned women and teenage women, teenage girls and young women that go missing, or they come up dismembered and in fucking parks and shit, and fucking sewers and shit, and in gutters and shit, and trenches and shit. And you bitches think it's okay to sit up here and do this shit? This is fucking dangerous. You're sitting over here playing with your fucking lives just for a little male validation, just because you don't love yourself enough to be able to have the proper fucking discernment. And there's a lot of unambiguous black dark-skinned women who have lost their lives. And that is not to put that in other black women's faces to be rude or disrespectful, but as a reminder to respect these women and to understand that they went through something very horrific and traumatic that ended their fucking lives. And if you had any fucking common sense or self-love for yourself, you would respect yourself and have some higher standards and find people who are truly in your corner. Go where you're celebrated. You're sitting up here putting yourself in front of high caliber men that don't even fucking give a damn about you, that are going to overlook you, or when they actually meet you in person, they, one, did what they did to that one girl. They stood her up, made her look stupid, to the point where she was looking up, if restaurants were behind it, and were they scamming her, and she needs to get her money and all this shit. Do you see how fucking pathetic this shit is? And you women want to sit up here and set other unambiguous black dark-skinned women up for failure or even death, and not telling them how to protect themselves, Not teaching them the right shit, teaching them the wrong shit. And then you want to laugh in their faces when they fuck up. Because I know what type of women you guys are. So don't sit up here and act like I don't got your number, sweetheart. You unambiguous black dark-skinned women that want to change your race on Hinge and shit like that. Guess what? There are consequences to your actions. You guys want to act like this is all fun and games and like we don't have dangerous people out here in real life that will fucking unalive you just to do it. Some people do it for fucking sport. To black women. I have heard unambiguous black men talk about how enjoyable it is to do that in forums, even in their rap music. So one thing I want to say is, have some common sense, have some discernment, love yourself enough to not be so desperate. Desperate for love, my dude. To the point where you're getting unalived, or now this person has kidnapped you and now you got Stockholm syndrome and now you're playing house with your kidnapper. Things like this happen in real life, guys. Us as women, we have to protect ourselves and one another in general, regardless of our race, regardless of our nationality. Women need to come together. There's too many stupid ass fucking reasons that are dividing us. It's so fucking stupid. I just genuinely don't get it. I genuinely just don't get it. But we genuinely have people out here that are willing to risk their lives just to get male validation. And I think it's pathetic. I think it is stupid. I think it is dangerous. And I think that a lot of unambiguous women who lack the self-love and who lack the patience to learn to love themselves and to learn to teach others to love themselves by displaying that said self-love, guess what? I wash my hands from the colorism crybaby femcel rage and just like against women who are in happy relationships that look like them, or women who are in happy relationships that don't even look like them. It's just so much hatred. It's literally like useless. Using your energy for the wrong reasons. That's one thing I want to say. I have a Patreon, guys, and I am doing my pretty girl boot camp, okay? And that's going to be a special section just for the exotical girlies that want to have that one-on-one time with me, and they want to also get my game plan book. I have an ebook now. It's called the Exotical Game Plan. So in my ebook, I go over how I, came to be a successful exotical woman. I am currently, working for myself. I've been working for myself since I've been 18 years old. And, just getting to know me a little bit better, but also learning how to level up. I have a subliminal playlist on there as well. And just a lot of things, and access to special videos that other people will not be privy to, and just a lot of the gems and the jewels that I've learned over my years of experience. Okay, guys? So I want to talk about my experiences as a platonic sugar baby and also as a financial dominatrix. I want to talk about my experiences on Patreon because I feel like my work will be truly appreciated by the women who really want to know about that type of lifestyle and the type of lifestyle that I live. So I just want to thank all of my new subscribers, my returning subscribers that have been emailing me, asking me when will I be doing my specialty content and when will I be talking about, being pedestalized and being a beautiful exotical woman and being a pretty girl that just truly gets everything that she wants. Because one thing I want to say, I've always been so focused focused on myself to the point where men just bow down to me. Men will buy me food. Men will pay for gas, like randomly. Men will pay for, my Ubers. Like everything that I have is always been paid for. I grew up seeing that happening for my mom. So I've always believed that it was possible for myself. And, my light-skinned savior grandmother used to try to insult me in a way and say, oh, the best thing you'll ever be is a kept woman. You know what I mean? Being pedestalized by men and men just throwing their money at you and you not having real love. But one thing she got wrong is I actually do get love. And I'm actually proud of that. I'm actually proud of the lifestyle that I live. And if other exotical women want to learn more about my personal experiences and they want to learn how to become a platonic sugar baby or a financial dominatrix, go ahead and check out my Patreon. It will be down in the description box below of my video. But I'm going to try to edit all of my videos where my Patreon link is in each of the description boxes. I'm going to try to get to that soon. So, yeah, let's go ahead and just continue on with this video. And I just want to say there are very, very harsh and deadly consequences when you are going on these dating apps and you're catfishing men, because some men cannot control their anger. Like, I'm just being honest with you. And it's dangerous for any type of woman. Like, catfishing a man in general, or just, being very in your masculine energy with a man to the point where he's getting triggered and now he's just wanting to fight you, or now he's wanting to kick you out the car or something. Always have control of the situation. And that's one thing I teach exotical women in my Patreon, how to take control of your life and how to, actualize, your dreams and how to self-actualize yourself. So if you're interested in that Patreon type of material, if you're interested in that type of content, go ahead and check it out, guys. But I also do have a supporters tier, and that is my Pretty Girl Club Pass. And that one is just $15. And you guys get access to my Pretty Girl podcast episodes. You get early access to the content that's put on YouTube. So you guys are the first ones to see it automatically. And yeah, everything has been just going really good behind the works. I've just been creating so much content in bulk. And I know you guys really appreciate the quality content that I put out. And I just want to give a huge thanks to all of you guys who have subscribed to me, who like, share, and binge watch all of my content. I just want to say thank you, thank you, thank you. And I appreciate you guys. And I hope you guys are having a beautiful day. But let's get into some of the darker sides of doing this type of, pity privilege, I don't know what else to say about it, because it is pretty privilege, or a privilege, or no, it's like a social climbing tactic. It's like a very low vibrational social climbing tactic, because you're starting off with this deceptive energy to, get access to a certain type of man that probably isn't looking for you, and then getting disappointed that it didn't go the way that you wanted. But those women in the previous videos, they made it out alive. So I want to talk about the women that did not make it out alive of these situations, so we can learn from their mistakes, because their mistakes have put them 6 feet under, okay? And it is real life, guys. Real life. And I think that some of these unambiguous black women get caught up in the limerence. They get caught up in the fantasy. They get caught up in the mental illness or the delusions or the disillusioned perception or their fragmented perception of what true reality is. And then they get in these situations where now you got your family having to set up a funeral and putting you on a t-shirt, and now you've caused so much pain and chaos to everybody because you wanted to be a pick-me. You didn't have enough love for yourself. Now, this is what happens when you don't have enough self-control, self-love for yourself, and self-discipline. Let's go ahead and roll the clip.
Okay, so I was reading up on this story about this 23-year-old black woman. She met up with an older white man that she met off online. Somehow ended up dead, and when the police showed up, they didn't investigate the guy because he said he was a nice guy who didn't seem like he needed to be investigated. Y'all stay safe out here. Like, gosh. Meet these people in public, and sometimes you're going to have to add a camera to your life, like in your house.
I need you all to share this young woman's story. I will put a trigger warning on this post because what happened to this young lady should never happen to anyone.
Person Sade Robinson. A criminal complaint released Friday says investigators used her cell phone records to follow her movements the night before on April 1st for what was supposed to be a first date with Anderson. After dinner and drinks, Robinson's phone was tracked to Anderson's home for 3 hours. An hour later, her phone pinged at Kern Park. And then following a drive across the city, its last trace to Warnemont Park, the same spot investigators found that severed leg. April 2nd, the Milwaukee police found Robinson's car torched near 31st and Lisbon, her clothes and phone in the trunk. 12 News has since learned footage from a city bus near that time and place captured Anderson. In the following days, police and Robinson's family searched that Walnut Hill neighborhood and found a foot and human flesh.
MPD returned to the area when Miss Robinson's family located her blanket. At this time, detectives located additional human remains.
DNA results on the foot are pending, but DNA results confirm the severed leg is Robinson's. Do you know how she died?
Can't comment on that.
Investigators also not detailing where the homicide occurred, a possible motive, a weapon, or what they found when they searched his home, other than blood in a bedroom and blood on the walls leading to the basement. Law enforcement sources told 12 News investigators did find what was described as a sex dungeon. What did you find inside that home, specifically in the basement?
Cannot release that at this time.
Hannah, the sheriff confirmed they are reviewing other missing person cases to see if there's any connection to this one.
Right, Patrick, they're looking for any link to this case. But today, the sheriff did say right now they do not have any evidence that leads them to any other victims.
Hannah Hilliard at 30.
So it seems like no one's going to say this, so I guess it's going to have to be me. Dating sites are for desperate people. I'm so sorry. Before y'all get mad at me, hear me out. Anytime you hear horror stories, when women come out and tell their stories about a man who did this to her, a man who played her, a man who lied to her, a man who the bleep did I marry, that story that's going around, right? A woman who was almost unalived, or a woman who got kicked out of a car on the first date and whatever else. Anytime you hear stories like this, even many of the women who've actually been put 6 feet under, whenever you hear those stories, like 90-something% of the time, when you ask these women, where did you meet this man? The vast majority of the time, they met on a dating site. Facebook dating, or Tinder, or Plenty of Fish, or a site for literal sociopaths and serial killers. Like, literally. That is where desperate people go to meet people, in my personal opinion. I feel like the vast majority of the males on dating sites, there's something wrong with them. They are sociopaths, they're narcissists, they are not very attractive, so you'll get catfished. You know, they're lying about their marital status. They're lying about the amount of children that they have. A lot of them are married. Many of them are on the down low. A lot of them are hobosexuals. Many of them are pedos that want to date single mothers just so they can get at your kids, right? Those are the types of men that are on dating sites. You might come across a 0.0003% of men who are really just having a hard time. They're really a decent guy. They're really having a hard time meeting women. They're shy or something's wrong with them, but they're not really terrible. That's it. The rest of them, they're crazy. And we know this because every time you hear a horror story of something happening to a woman, she met him on a dating site 9 times out of 10. So we know this already. So why are you on there? And as a woman, you are the value. Shout out to Princella, right? She said you the value because that sounds better than saying you're the prize. But you really are the prize though, right? So how are you the prize and you're out sifting through trash, garbage? Like you're sifting through trash literally to try to find love when you're supposed to be loving yourself. And I know a lot of y'all don't because you're out here, I want somebody to love me. I'm looking for love. You're doing that because you don't have enough love within yourself. People who love themselves, typically they're not that desperate. Right? So we know the types of men that are on these sites. You're really not going to get good results. Many people who were on dating sites and got off, they got off because they realized that. They realized, this is a waste of time. How many times do you have to hear stories of women like getting done wrong, getting dragged? You can't get these people out your house. They're trying to unalive you because you want them to go. They're lying about their existence. Like, how many times do y'all have to hear these stories before you realize that is not a place for women to be? I'm starting to get to a place in my life where I'm starting, and I hate to say this, but I'm starting not to have that much empathy for you, the stories that I'm hearing coming off these dating sites, because y'all are like, we all got social media. We all hear these stories. How are y'all not paying attention? You're not going to be the exception to the rule. You're on a dating site, just like the rest of these people that are desperate. You're going to get pretty much the same results. Many women got worse results. Many of them are in their graves right now because they met some dude on a dating site and had him meet him at your house the same night for the first date. Stupid shit like that. Like, y'all got to stop this. Like I said, this is my opinion. So I know a lot of you guys are going to come over here and say, that's just your opinion. It is. And I'm basing that opinion off the fact that when you hear horror stories, 9 times out of 10, these women met these men on dating sites. Please delete these apps from your phone. Please. These dating sites is not going to get you nowhere but unalived, essayed, right? And trauma that's going to take you years to get over. That's all you're going to get out of this. I wish y'all would just realize this and get off those dating sites. Yes, you're desperate, okay? I don't say that to be funny or to make you feel bad, but I want you to look in the mirror. Take a look at yourselves. You're on these sites because you're desperate. There's some part of you that are like, I'm not finding what I want to find in real life. Listen, normal people meet people in a normal way, period. I don't care how advanced social media is or the dating sites. I don't care. A normal person would meet people in an organic environment, at work, walking to Target. You know what I mean? A party, somebody's junior's bachelor party, even. Normal settings. Do you know what I mean? That's what normal people do. So that's just my thought on this. I wish y'all would stop. Ladies, please get off these sites. Let these men have each other, okay? Because you don't belong there. You are literally the prize. There is no reason why the prize should be out here desperately searching and pecking around for a man. Shout out to Sheila True Love, my mama. All right.
Now, if that didn't make my point very clear about the consequences that come with this type of deceptive action, and femcels are willing to sabotage themselves just for the feelings of being wanted and being desired to be fulfilled, even if it's just for like an hour or two or a couple minutes or even a couple seconds. Like, there are dangerous men out here, and when you center yourself, you literally rid your environment of those type of men who have the potential to be dangerous and things of that nature. When you love yourself, when you're focused on yourself and the things that you like that woman said, you can find a man like by just doing normal things. And one thing that came to my mind when she said that is like, I had a personal experience with somebody who ran after me He chased after me, this high caliber man, and gave me his business card in broad daylight when I was just walking out of a boutique store, literally. And that man spoiled the fuck out of me, and still spoils the fuck out of me today, till this day and beyond. Amen. But anyway, that was the psychological jackpot that I had found, and I just find it quite disturbing that these unambiguous black women will gloss over, the consequences as steep as being unalived. Like, being unalived is just like a deal breaker for me. Like, I can't even go that far. Like, self-love is keeping me from a lot of harmful and destructive behaviors, and I just gotta shout out to my girl, self-love. Thank you, girl. You keep it right. So one thing I want to say is that just be in the essence, the vibe, the aura, the energy of self-love. And respect yourself, because that is some ghetto ass shit to just be unalive because you wanted to get some male validation or some male attention. Like, as a beautiful woman, I have always been given male validation, male attention. Like, even as a young child, like, I genuinely only value the validation that I give myself, because that's endless, that's eternal, that's something that no one can touch, that's something no one can tamper with. Because when you solidify that within yourself, you're secure within yourself, nobody can truly fuck with you, no one can truly break you down or tear you down. You're always going to be who you are, who you want to be, who you've been meant to be, literally at this point. But I genuinely feel that unambiguous black women try to glamorize this type of toxic, destructive, deceptive behavior. And then when we have unambiguous black, dark-skinned women who actually go out here and do these things, and now they're either unalived, almost got unalived, have trauma, on antidepressants for years and years and years, because they went out there and thought that they were the exception to the rule. And one thing I want to say is these divestors and these black women empowerment spaces, they like to glamorize toxic, self-sabotaging behavior, and they want to give it out as advice like it's giving candy to a baby. And pretty much the unambiguous black women who are watching and listening on these YouTube channels and these podcasts and all these other places on social media and these platforms, they're just eating this up like it's nobody's business, and they're wondering why like black women are getting unalived at large rates. It's because you're giving them like false sustenance to rely on, these false ideologies, and you're telling them to go about their business in these specific ways. And when they get unalived, or when they get hurt because the man beat them up or SA'd them, or is stalking them and will not stop stalking them. Let's talk about that. Because I feel like a lot of unambiguous black women are being stalked because of their toxic behavior. If we are to protect unambiguous black women, they must want to protect themselves first. They must love themselves first, and they must acknowledge who they are first. We cannot work with people who do not love themselves. You cannot align yourself with someone who does not love themselves while loving yourself, because it's either going to be a battle of wills. Are you going to end up being defeated and feeding into this negativity, or are you going to stand on business and say, hey, I have high boundaries, I have high expectations for the people who are allowed in my life, and you just can't come in my life and just do certain things. Women who do not have boundaries, they allow things like this to happen to them, okay? And that's one thing I want to say. That woman should have never been on that dating site trying to get a zaddy, because these are the same women who will be in those divestors spaces talking about, I want to swirl, I'm the swirl queen, and all this other stuff. Okay, so when swirling and interracial relationships don't work out and it turns deadly and it takes a wrong turn, oh, let's not talk about that. Like, that's insane. That's like literally sick. And it's the fact that we have women out here talking about change your race on Hinge. But, oh, you don't want to talk about the consequences of doing that. You don't want to talk about the consequences of literally catfishing somebody. Literally catfishing somebody. Literally having these filters and touching up all of your photos with these paid apps. Let's not act like we don't know what's going on, shitty Lipstick Alley. More like Shit Stain Alley. For real. If you really wanted to ask me. But anyway, I love all of my subscribers returning and new. I just want to thank you guys so much for all of your support. And if you're interested in my Patreon, go ahead and check it out. There will be some more tiers coming. And, I'm just super excited to work with the ladies that want to level up their lifestyle, that want to have access, to my personal podcast aside of the Pretty Girl podcast. So go ahead and check it out if you're interested. But anyway, I just want to let you guys know that we should learn from the mistakes of other women, regardless of their ethnicity. And I will be putting up some more videos and some more content. And I'm just truly excited because I have a bunch of content that I'm about to post on Patreon. So, it's just really exciting, guys. I'm really happy to be doing, this YouTube channel and then also my podcast on Patreon. And just being able to, connect with other exotical women who want to learn more just about, who I am, and just learn about the experiences that other exotical women share with me in my inbox. So just so you guys know, all of you guys are more than welcome to share your experiences. I will also have my email for exotical experiences and story times down in the description box below as well. And yeah, I just feel that you must love yourself so you can avoid being traumatized, so you can avoid being hurt or even unalived. You must have the utmost discernment in what you're looking for and what you want, and knowing that it is possible and you don't have to sell yourself short just to get what you want in life. And I feel like a lot of unambiguous Black women have preached that sermon like a broken record over the Black women's empowerment space on YouTube, and their talking points are outdated, and it's getting like a dog eat dog world over there. You know what I mean? Certain people are, talking about each other. But anyway, there's more content coming, guys. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. That is my psychological jackpot exposed on the Madam, the Exotical Tax Collector's channel. And that is the video for today. Ciao. I love you guys, and I hope you guys have the most blessed, beautiful time ever. I love you. Bye.